Compulsory electricity services. Here, I will treat you to the machinations of your friendly local electric company. I bring you this first, because I believe the electric company is the one with the most power over you, your finances, your comfort, your livelihood, and in some cases, power over your health. There are many harms that your local electric company brings you, and it should be on the top of your list to get rid of for an off-grid lifestyle. These harms are: 1. Poor and working class people pay much more than the wealthy for less electricity. 2. It has incentives to grow and raise rates almost unabated. 3. In many cases, it treats its customers as indentured servants. 4. It is a harmful monopoly in most areas. 5. It is often a for-profit investor-driven corporation. 6. It wields and uses abusive power over you and your community. And 7. It is wasteful and encourages you to use ever more power. Poor and working class people pay much more than their wealthy counterparts for their electricity. So, let's start with what hurts you the most, and it is that the electric bill seems to be too often outrageously high. Majority of people, in the US and the world, are working poor to middle class people. And the median individual income in the US, the wealthiest nation on earth, is just over $31,000 per year. I live here in the US, and I can attest to you that this amount is not much to live on, especially in a mid-sized to large city. And this figure, the median income, means that half of the US working population earn below this amount. The average electric bill per month in the US was $122 per month in 2023. That's not to ignore that this average can swing wildly. For example, a household electric bill can commonly be over $300 per month. But, going with the national average, a little math will reveal that $122 is $1,464 per year, and this median electric bill takes about 4.4% from the median US individual income, or 2% from a household income of about $71,000. Regardless, shaving 2% to 4.4% from a hard-earned and precarious income is bad enough, but it gets worse. Like I mentioned, about 50% of the US population, again the wealthiest in the world, make less than this amount, $71,000, and yet pay nearly the same, sometimes much more, as the average electricity bill every month. And, as we all know, we don't ever have the full amount of our gross income available for us to spend a portion of it on electricity. Your income is almost always severely diminished by things like all sorts of taxes, insurance payments, rent or mortgage payments, and many other expenses. Taxes and other monthly payments will often leave most gross incomes unrecognizable, if there's anything left of it at the end of the month. But, here we'll see how bad it is after only deducting the basics, what most US households always pay for: food and water, rent or mortgage, and taxes. So, let's run the numbers, shall we? If we take a US household income of $62,500, which is the actual earnings of about 16%, the largest average income bracket of US households, and deduct the median average rent payments of $1,702 for the year, $20,424, our precarious gross income is down to $42,076. Take out federal income taxes, ignoring all other taxes, of about $8,000, and we are down to $34,076. Further deduct average food costs of about $4,800 per year, and we are left with just $29,276 per household. Now, let's take this much more realistic amount of available funds per household, $29,276, and pay for the year's electricity, and we find that it is a whopping 5% of that available income per household. Ouch! If you happen to live in states where the average monthly electric bill is higher than average, say Connecticut where it is $156, then you're paying 6.3% of that available income. Double ouch! In the US, A whopping 8% of households made an eye-watering $20,000 per year. Taking only $1,500 in income taxes, and $9,600 in yearly rent costs, and $3,600 per year in food and water expenses, leaves that household with $5,300 to cover all other expenses. If we were to charge this poor household the average electric bill per year, it would be a criminally abusive 28% of their available income. This gives you an idea of the sickening amount of money most people pay to the power company. And it is actually worse than this. The power company has managed to tack on all sorts of extra fees to your power bill, on top of the already high rates you pay for your electricity. The average power bills discussed so far only include basic electricity rates. For example, I'm looking at my power bill as I write this, and 21% of charges have nothing to do with my personal electricity use. I have an environment compliance fee, 9% of my bill, a nuclear construction cost recovery fee, 2.4% of my bill, a municipal franchise fee, 2.77% of my bill, and, of course, sales taxes, 6.5% of my bill. If you actually read your power bill, you may find ridiculous tack-on fees like these. The above rates and percentages should make it abundantly clear that the rates most people pay for electric service is not only high, but abusive. If poor and working people were to keep from 2% to 20% of their incomes, it would make a tremendous difference in their livelihood. I recall, as a young man starting my independent life, I was outraged and pained at the amount of my very limited income that I had to pay to the electric company. And, as you may see, the bottom 50% of the economic classes suffer the most under the current electricity rate system. Your friendly electric company does not charge the powerful and wealthy a higher rate for their electricity. Even though it does cost significantly more to maintain and deliver electricity to their manicured neighborhoods, they still pay the same rate and the same fees as the poorest among us, and yet their income is often incomparable with the majority of our incomes. About 36% of US households get above $100,000 per year, with a smaller number of that percentage getting multiple times that amount.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please look for the next episode soon. And please ensure you like this content and subscribe as a sign of support for me to continue to provide this type of content to people like you. Thank you.